Get ready for the next battle, ladies and gentlemen. Today, that's what in between. My name is SPF Dark. We're coming at you live here at the CCA to bring you another quarterfinals match here tonight. Now, before I get too ahead of myself, though, I am joined by another familiar face here seen already.
Yes, I'm still here. And you see down there, name Rocket, still here, still existing. Help me, Vapor has me in my closet. No, I'm kidding. Hey, I'm not. No, I'm here. No. Jokes. But anyways, pleased to be with you here, Dark, as well as all of you at home here. We're looking at Div 7 this time between Auburn Orange versus Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep. Actually, the University of California, Santa Cruz. A very, very fun name there.
Yeah, I was looking at the preview for like the lineup for tonight, and I saw Auburn Orange. Like, oh yeah, that's an easy name to say. And I looked at their opponents. I'm already struggling. I have no idea how I'm going to shorten that out here for us tonight. But no, I am very excited to see these two teams play it off here in our first playoffs for Division 7, mind you. So this is when things really start heating up. We're now in a single elimination bracket, so someone will be going home tonight, and someone will be moving on to see play again next weekend.
For sure, yeah, but jumping straight into things here, again, if you were already here, we have the map pool already for us, and it's going to be the same map pool. Starting things off, Clam, Blitz, Gorge here between both these teams. Let's see what we have in store for us, at least for this first game. Trying to set things off here, trying to look at comps. We see a Hydra and Tetris on the side of Auburn Orange. On the other side, Wellstring, Neo Sloshing Machine, Dooley, Zap. Very, very interesting comps from both sides.
Yeah, Leaf Sheep definitely has. I don't think I've ever seen a combination like that before, so I'm very interested to see exactly how they want to play it out. And Auburn Orange choosing it a little bit. If you kind of squint, it's a little bit more traditional, but there are some unique picks here. You know, the Decapitator going up in play as a recent stay, and as we see already, you see why exactly. It has a good fighting power, good fighting rage here. It's already got the first pick of the match, and already looking to get that second pick here.
For sure, now trying to move on forward here. You see the decap managing to actually find one with a bomb, I believe, before being taken out. You see Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep. I'm gonna abbreviate that for future so I don't have to like just go on an absolute tear to say it. Just trying to move forward on this left side. Beautiful Zuka there as the players of Auburn Orange just line up perfectly in place, and with that, a delayed wipeout will lead to the first push of the game.
Oh, and a very good holding here as well. The Hammer going in to clear up some additional space. They're getting pick after pick after pick. Auburn Orange only has one player left here to try and defend here. And Leaf Sheep is still getting those clams in. 50 points remaining and counting, bringing it down to 44 as they do lose one player. But the Crab Take here comes out to try and stall them out, to try and stall Auburn Orange as best they can so they get even more, any more clams here. But with a few more picks on their side, Leaf Sheep is forced to back up here a bit as Auburn Orange does reset this game, but not without their own losses. And they're 3 down once again, going here for that potential fourth. And a delayed wipeout, just pushing back further and further as Leaf Sheep is already at the podium once again with the power clam.
For sure, and continuously getting these clams in, continuous sustained push coming out from Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep here, continuing to move forward. The cooler being placed as well will allow them to get more fight power in here, but unfortunately unable to keep the basket open. I'm sure they're not too upset though about that score on the board, Dark. I mean, 44 is a strong lead there, and still Auburn Orange still unable to really get out of their spawn, as that is a 3-player down situation. Tetris now will try to lead things off for Auburn Orange, getting back into mid here, but still strong control for Leaf Sheep.
Yeah, things are looking very dire right now for Auburn Orange here, especially with going 2 down once again. Leaf Sheep coming in with the power clam here to try and get that power clam dunked once again to extend their lead even further, or at least keep the momentum on their side. But with one player going down, Auburn Orange going out with the trade here, things are looking back to a little bit of a stalemate. But the rocket of the dream here as they go and gets a 2-for-1 from that special, and now looking to try and push up the advantage. And with the power clam and the crab tick in play, they're going to be able to go in and get this power clam dunked without any contest.
Yeah, and now still extending their lead here, Dark. Now you see under the basket, Sloshing Machine managing to find a pick onto the Hydra. Key pick there, as Auburn Orange will not have that long-range firepower still, though. Leaf Sheep still in, managing to get even more clams here. Really just left to the decap. We'll find that evening trade, yes, but now with cooler being placed, clams spawning in, this lead is snowballing out of control. A great pick will allow Auburn Orange to just live to fight another day, but so far, Leaf Sheep have just been in this little elbow area just scot-free.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better, Rocket. Auburn Orange has been struggling to finally take back against Leaf Sheep here on that ramp. But I see here as they are using this Whale Bomb to hopefully space out Leaf Sheep and keep them pushed back a bit further so they can probably regroup. But one did go down there in that skirmish, and with an oppressive upholding here, Leaf Sheep goes in once again and gets another power clam here. They're not letting go. They're wanting to try and just slowly choke this game out with a hammer coming in with the power clam. They're able to take this game without too much fight back from Auburn Orange, unfortunately.
Yeah, a great opening 100-0 though from Leaf Sheep. I mean, not really a lot of space for Auburn Orange to really work with. They were just peppered time and time again by these specials, such as the Crab, such as the Zuka, really leaving them no space to really operate. And I mean, that's the formula to winning against the comp that Auburn Orange ran with that Hydra. Hydra's main weakness, of course, is going to be that mobility. And if you just really don't give it positions or any space to really work with, really set up, then you're really able to take that space that the Hydra would normally obtain very, very quickly. And I mean, that's exactly, that's really exactly, oh, wrong replay. That's exactly what Leaf Sheep did need to do, did right there. I mean, really just leaving them no room, and then it just kept snowballing, and just little by little chipping away those point totals, and off to a hot start here in this quarterfinals Div 7 matchup.
Yeah, Leaf Sheep definitely are sitting at the tempo here, though. Let it be known that we are in a set of 9, best of 9, first to 5. So even though this first game was lost by Auburn Orange, it isn't exactly the end of the world for them. They still have a few extra games to try and probably get situation and try and see exactly what exactly makes Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep tick and see exactly what they can do against them. A bit of a rough start, but nothing you can't play around. You know, the as you mentioned, the Hydra definitely might have been a very important key for Auburn Orange, but it shows kind of the weakness there of it being a slower weapon. It's so much harder to probably play around if your opponents know exactly how to probably counter it. Using those Zukas, it's such a hard, oppressive thing for backlines in general. That's special that everyone hates it so much as well. So it's like, do you stick with the Hydra here, or are you going to try and look for a quick and easy switch up here heading into this game number 2?
Yeah, and speaking of this game number 2, we have a doozy of one coming up. It is Splat Zone's Hagglefish Market, the classic, the platoon competitive map for a lot of people, myself included, and this could really give each team really their first look into, I mean, it is a very good map. It is the, I feel like, most popular competitive mode in Splat Zones, and just taking a look at what both teams ran here, I do love Leaf Sheep's comp a lot in terms of being able to have that Crab on those dualies there, but do they stick with that well string though for the chipping ability? We'll just have to wait and see. On the side of Auburn Orange though, they remain mostly firm. Still, they have that Forge Pro now though, and that Hydra still sticking firm. I do like that choice for double Booyah Bomb, but on the other side, same comp from the University of California. But I mean, Leaf Sheep so far have been able to rise up to the challenge. Will they be able to take another one?
Yeah, and already Leaf Sheep are having a good opening game on their end. They get the first pick against Auburn Orange. The important pick, too, being the NZAP as well. Their cooler supporter here going down immediately means that they're not going to be able to have cooler in time for this upcoming push, as Booyah Bomb is the first Booyah Bomb of many is used here to try and zone them out. But no, Auburn Orange doesn't really get too much out of that as they get picked out here in mid. And fighting under this 10, they go down to a 2-for-1 special, finally going down here. Leaf Sheep Dream having a good hold on mid as they pop Crab Take to keep Auburn Orange put down as best they can.
You see the Crab from Sylvette creating so much space. Now down to the 50-point mark. Doolies, no, not done yet. Managing to find Rose, taking the fight with the decap. That decap does end up falling. But now, not a lot of space or a lot of time or a lot of players to really work with here for Auburn Orange as they go 3 players down. This Booyah Bomb immediately shredded. Fox unable to get anything going there on that right side photo, just trying to see if they can get themselves inserted on this right side. Has bubble up, but time is ticking down. 3 go down from Auburn Orange. It doesn't look like they'll be able to get a contest, and with that wipeout, still keeping the momentum, University of California at Santa Cruz. Leaf Sheep take a 2-0 quick lead in the set.
It really was a blink and you miss it game. Leaf Sheep just comes in, just really set themselves up properly here in mid and just lock them out. This map even though it's a very good neutral map for the most part, the one big flaw or advantage to it, depending on which side you are, is the fact that it's such an easy lockout scenario here on this ramp that it could be very lethal if you can't properly regroup or get your specials going. And it's just an unfortunate thing to see happen here at Auburn Orange. They tried their best to break through, but Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep just going in over and over, keeping them put down. They were just not giving them any breathing room whatsoever.
Yeah, and I mean, this just goes and shows the strength of Leaf Sheep's comp. Their entire comp is kind of based on this chipping ability. You have the dualies there to really just get in, get out. They love to fight. You have the Neo Sloshing Machine as well for a similar story, and I mean, the Wellstring. That weapon is the definition of chipping or just straight up just getting kills wherever they see fit. So, I mean, really nicely done from Leaf Sheep's comp there. And, I mean, obviously a comp will only get you so far, but it's just how they use it. And yet again, we saw deja vu from game one. Auburn Orange just weren't able to settle themselves just because of this fast-paced fighting style that Leaf Sheep has been able to do.
Yeah, and there could be a lot of things that are probably affecting things on either side. You know, as they said, a little bit of a looking before these matches, both teams for Auburn Orange specifically, mood. Something that they mentioned for their mood is that they're a bit nervous heading into this game, into this set here. And I mean, that's completely fair. You know, you're on the big stage in semifinals. It's a one and done scenario if you really can't win this first game, you're going to be out for the remainder of the season and for the remainder of the bracket, and it's a lot of pressure to be on for your first game here. But on Do Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep on their end, they're feeling pretty good here, and with this being the first tournament, you know, it's a very good showing what they've been doing already. But I'm not counting anyone out just yet. This is the second game going to game number 3, so we're seeing exactly what changes are going to be, and I already see a very delightful change here.
Yeah, now going with the Imperial Dualies is Auburn Orange as well. The regular heavy splat link for that Wave Breaker. We are on game 3 TC Macomart, you see on your screen right there. Leaf Sheep still sticking with what works. I mean, why change what has been working? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You see the decap already, though, on the side of Auburn Orange going down, trying to take that stack. Sylvette on this right side with dualies could find themselves a nice double kill, and still back in business. Leaf Sheep find themselves a nice little wipeout now with all specials online, and those dualies still managing to find more picks as well on this right side. They will comfortably take checkpoint 1.
Yeah, things are starting to look familiar, really familiar here as Do Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep, setting up their own push here, getting these picks one by one, keeping Auburn Orange very staggered as they're already at the second checkpoint, trying to hunt down these players. But no, Auburn Orange does manage to get some control here in this game as they push Do Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep back a little bit and get a few picks of their own. But Leaf Sheep does pop their own specials, especially with that crab take here, going to get a wipe out as Auburn Orange is unfortunately being forced back against the wall once again.
Yeah, continuously pushing over and over and over here. Leaf Sheep are still rolling here. They've already gotten that first checkpoint, don't have to worry about it. Now trying to get that pivotal second checkpoint. I typically think of TC maps in terms of checkpoints, not exactly point totals in terms of checkpoints here. So the way I think of it, I mean, you do see the 36 point total, yes, but I only think about it as Leaf Sheep getting one checkpoint here. They could turn the second checkpoint, though. You see the zap on that left side. Mandarin managing to find a pick. That splashdown will go down, yes, but still strong control for Leaf Sheep. Sylvette's crab will unfortunately fall off that stack. Just trying to get back into position here, but Auburn Orange just trying to find an opening, but unable to really get anything going at the moment as Sylvette is still just holding down this right stack.
Yeah, no, that Dualies player is on a rampage here as Leaf Sheep just keeps complete control of this game, keeping Auburn Orange staggered bit by bit, making the openings and the chaos that need to just get those single picks to keep Auburn not being able to properly regroup. Once again, we see here so many different fights happening across the map, and now Auburn Orange is suddenly...
Oopsie daisies. I think we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, Inklings, Octolings out there, yes, we are back with CCA. A little bit of a technical difficulties on our end. Apologies for that, but we won't be able to see that second half of Game 3. But as you see on the scoreboard, we do see Leaf Sheep did manage to take that Game 3, and we're just hopping straight into Game 4 here.
Yeah, an unfortunate incident that happened that we missed that later half of that third game. But here we are for game number 4. This is a very pitiful game here in this set. It really sets the tempo for the remainder of this set here, depending on what is going to happen. And we see Leaf Sheep already on the offensive, getting 3 down, a delayed wipeout as they're going to go in on the right hand side to get that immediate checkpoint dunked.
Yes, starting off hot, and I'm sure they're continuously just trying to keep on going, and 3 players fall for Auburn Orange, just left to the heavy splat lane here. Interesting choice for Leaf Sheep to take it off this right side, as this is a very uncommon path to take it through, but the players are falling left, right, and center for Auburn Orange, just slowly but surely moving forward, and again, blink and you will miss it. Another quick 100-0 for Leaf Sheep, I'm sure. They're just trying to speed run this one so they can just get to bed or something. I mean, this is just absolute just rampage that they've been going on so far that Auburn Orange has yet to find an answer to.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell what exactly is going on Auburn Orange side. Maybe it's just at this point of the set, maybe it's just mental. It's hard to recover from that. But I am still a man of the people and would like to have to see this reverse sweep of the century here from Auburn Orange. So I still have faith in you guys to be able to pull up against Dooley Sheep previously. But man, that regardless of what the actual outcome is for this set, that game there was kind of really beautiful to watch, considering how we saw not only we saw the right hand route get taken, but just the way that Leaf Sheep handled the Rainmaker on top of the tactical alert to be able to just get in there really fast without spending too much time on the map was really well done.
Sure. I mean, yeah, if you were on the side of... I mean, we get to see a little bit of the Macamart game here, but really what we saw is Sylvette, this Dooley's player, just an absolute rampage. This team, Leaf Sheep, the University of California, Santa Cruz, loves to fight everything. They love to take these fast interactions, really just hit you before you can see it coming, and that was basically the theme of Game 4 right there. I mean, you never really had an opportunity to set up for Auburn Orange, but now being down 0-4 tournament, or, I mean, your tournament life on the line here, you just gotta take a deep breath. Your playoff life on the line, just take a deep breath, take it one game at a time. Mentality is a very important part of Splatoon. I mentioned it in the previous set, I'll mention it again here. It is never over until you see it, until you lose 5 games, and they have yet to do that. Auburn Orange still have a last fighting chance. This is probably where we will see maybe a different comp change, though, for Auburn Orange, though, Dark.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, Rocket. This could be the important part where Auburn Orange are going to say to themselves that, hey, clearly what we're doing hasn't been working so far. Maybe we just got to do something out there to try and get some kind of control back to this game, because you said it well. This set really isn't over until that last game number 5 is called in favor for Dooley Sheep, Dream of Sleep. And so like I've seen plenty of comebacks in my time on the mic here, not just here at CCA, but on the mic across like all the other multiple places I've casted for. So Auburn Orange still has every possibility here to truly run this back and get the reverse sweep of the century. And honestly, as your first game here in the playoffs in the bracket series, I would very much like to see that.
Yes, and speaking of this Game 5, we're going back to Clan Blitz, but we're on Umami Ruins this time here, and taking a look at both teams' weapons, still remaining firm for both teams, at least from what we saw in the previous game here. But hopefully we're a different outcome if you're on the side of Auburn Orange. I mean, last time on Scorched Gorge there, you just had continuous control over mid for Leaf Sheep and continuous pushes over and over and over again until they eventually broke. Let's see if it can change this time for Auburn Orange, as mid control is going to be very vital on this map.
And already both these two teams are at a relatively neutral state right now. 2 down for each side before going down an additional 1 player down. But Auburn Orange unfortunately does go down to the wipeout here. And immediately Dooley Sheep Dream of Sleep goes in, get the power clamp up, gets Tactical up, and are at the ready to keep this momentum going in their favor. Going for one trades. They don't extend their lead. Oh, but they do! In the nick of time, they manage to get that power clamp basket wide open. And now with another wipeout, they're just going to keep continuing to feed these power clamps to the basket.
And there's Kestrel coming in with the jump, and now down to 30-point mark here with the hammer to boot as well. Managing to find Rose will get traded out, but the points are still going here. The decap does find 3 though, so this could potentially be the end of Leaf Sheep's push here, now being camped out, managing to find Sylvette, but now a very large deficit here, and only a minute and 15 has passed really, so a lot for Auburn Orange to come back from. You have the bubble available, you just gotta take it one push at a time. You need to first get mid first, but it is making it really hard on this left side. This sloshing machine managing to just snipe these players from Auburn Orange. 2 shots, 2 kills, and a 3rd wipeout now.
Yeah, the Zook has been very vital to Leaf Sheep's game plan here, especially with the scrap as well. 2 vital specials on their side that Auburn Orange has been struggling to fight against throughout this entire set. And now Leaf Sheep is going to try and manhandle the way to this final counter few. Clams getting dunked at the counter clam. There's only a few points remaining. 1 clam in the position of Leaf Sheep. Dream of Sleep as 2 players are now for Auburn Orange. I don't think they have the players to get tested with a wipeout. Wow. Do Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep knock out Auburn Orange and a 5-0 sweep here on your first week of playoffs?
That was, I believe, 4 knockouts that we saw, maybe 1 on Macomart we didn't see. I don't know the exact final score. Okay, yes, it was a knockout on Macomart too, so 5 straight wins, 5 straight knockouts. Leaf Sheep, do Leaf Sheep dream of sleep? University of California at Santa Cruz, very dominant fashion here in Div 7, managed to move on to semifinals, and I mean, what a performance it was by them. I mean, Auburn Orange, they had a lot just trying to get into mid here. They didn't make any major mistakes, I would really say. It's just that Leaf Sheep they were able to just fight everything, and the kills always just went their way because they really just did not allow Auburn Orange to play to their pace, and Leaf Sheep definitely did play to their pace.
Yeah, I don't know, absolutely. Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep, they were the ones who just kept on keeping Auburn Orange down again and again and again and again. It was such an unfortunate thing to see on their side, but man, what a valiant performance either way though from Auburn Orange, being able to just stick this through to the end without any just giving up, from what I could tell anyways. At this point, I know if that was me as a player side, I would definitely be distraught, but it's still something to say that you're still playing it through and giving it all to the very end. And I mean, even though you were knocked out first, someone has to get knocked out regardless of how the situation goes, and you made it to playoffs. That's still something to be very proud of regardless of how this set ended.
Yeah, that's the important thing. They have that to rest their head on. Obviously did not go the way they intended to, but I'm sure they'll be back here soon enough, but they will just have to take this as a lesson. On the other side, Leaf Sheep, wonderfully done. And if this is any indication of how they're gonna play for the rest of Div 7 playoffs, look out if you are next on their schedule. They are a team to be feared. You see just the Zuka shots, all these special landing absolutely to perfection there in the synchronized teamwork. Really nicely done there, and just GG's all around. We can take a look a little bit at the replay here, maybe. Wonderful streamer Vapor just trying to see what happened really when we went off air. But yeah, I mean, quick work there by Leaf Sheep.
Yeah, I mean, you said it as well. The Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep, they are definitely going to be the ones to worry about heading deeper into Division 7 playoffs as these seasons go. We only have a few more weeks left here on Season 6, so anyone else in Division 7 needs to be very wary of going up against the Leaf Sheep Dream of Sleep and Auburn Orange. I said it already, but I'll say it again. Be proud of yourselves for what you did today and making it this far at the very least, because you proved that you've shown that you are at least on a higher end of most of the teams here in Division 7, so you can I definitely had all faith in you guys being able to win this out. But man, oh man, even though it was a one-sided showing for a majority of tonight's set, it was still an entertaining watch.
Yeah, and you see in your background right there, you see the players on the map really just... all of Leaf Sheep just know what positions to really take. You see Sylvette in the backline there on the dualies being able to just try to get a flank on these players, but I mean, just constantly winning these fights. Sylvette winning that 1-on-2 fight actually, and just being able to take so much space in such a short amount of time, and unfortunately, this allowed this forced Auburn Orange to be a little bit staggered on this retake. You see there, the Zap even managing to get some picks on a very unusual positioning for where a Zap would normally be, but hey, taking those fights with that confidence there, I mean, yeah, for any of you who was curious about how that game 3 turned out, I mean, you're seeing it displayed right here.
Yeah, it's there really isn't too much left here, but I will say I really do enjoy watching how Leaf Sheep played a lot of their fights. They were so good at just pulling attention at every which way and getting so many different fights in different areas of the map and different moments in time that it kept. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the same strategy that they employed for the majority of the season. So it may not have been just Auburn Orange who had fought an ill fate to this playstyle, but as well as many other Division 7 teams who didn't make it into playoffs here that were forced to play against this sort of just hyper attention splitting, just picking off one by one, keeping staggered playstyle that they did. But was just extraordinary to watch.
It was indeed, but yeah, you see there just continuous pushes and so much map control by them as well. You see the entire map just all blue in their color, really leaving the Splatling no choice but to just try to see if they can get an equalizing pick. But afterwards, I'm sure this just continuous moving force here, really Cinex on those Amperi dualies, really the only thing, maybe just trying to stop them there, but being flanked by Sylvette on those regular Splat dualies. Still, again, another flank route by them, just taking all these fights. But, yep, that was how that match ended there. There won't be play all 9 for this because it is playoff, so 5-0 for Leaf Sheep will be your final score. But with that, that will be the end for us here at CCA today. But before we go, of course, Dark, where can the people find you online?
And you can find me at SPF_dark at most social media websites. I just repost random nonsense from time to time, but you'll hear my voice again and again and again on the multitude of just multitude organizations. I did here at CCA, Under Pressure, DAPL, IPL. I'm all over the place. You'll probably hear me again and again for the remainder of this, however long this community stands. And Rocket, where can they find you?
Similar story with me, pretty much anywhere that you mentioned, Dark. As well, I'm just gonna say this again, if you weren't here already, you'll find me at Rocket1 on Blue Sky. Once again, shout out to our wonderful streamer Vapor in the background. I know their PC exploded or something. Hopefully that is all good. Hopefully it's all good there. But again, the wonderful streamer, thank you for having us. Thank you all for watching this edition of CCA, and don't go anywhere at least for the remainder of this weekend because we still have more playoffs to come. So, yep, we'll see ya soon. Goodbye.
Yeah, we said we let it go.